Om Yang Brahma Varunendra Rudra Marutaha Stunvanti Dibbais Tavaihi Vedvai Shanga Padakramo Panishadaihi Gayanti Yang Shamagaha Dhyanavastita Tadgatina Manasha Pashyanti yang yogino yashyantam navidu shura shuraganaha devaya tasmai namaha devaya tasmai namaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Our salutations to that Supreme Being who is one without a second and whom the sages call by various names, whose glory has been sung to the rapturous hymns by Brahma, Vishnu, Varuna, Maruta, whom the saints of the world glorify by divine hymns, whom the singers of the Sama Veda praise by chanting the Veda and Upanishads, whom the yogin intuit with the mind concentrated in the meditation, but whose limitless and infinite glory none can comprehend. We offer our salutations, that being. Om peace, peace, peace be unto us all. So today we have our topic, attachment and detachment. This is a very sensitive topic because in this sense that we in the world always want to be happy and want to be in joy, but we always find that it is not available for us as it were, and we put the blame for everyone in the whole universe, but it is all our own weakness. Attachment is a very beautiful word in Sanskrit. Attachment is called asakti. Attachment means, sakta means it is just clingingness, serious clingingness with the objects of the universe. Whatever I love, whomever I love, I want to hang on, not only hang on, but stick like a glue. There's nothing wrong. But that which appears very sweet, time comes when it itself becomes a problem. That's why how to live in the world, not to go into the forest, but to live in the world, and we can love deeply, much more deeper than we can imagine, with an attitude which is called detachment. The whole Bhagavad Gita teaches us about detachment, detachment, detachment. Sri Ramakrishna in beautiful language has mentioned that it is only tyaga. Tyaga. Tyaga means renunciation. Tyaga means renunciation does not mean to go anywhere. It is the detachment. Detachment is psychological aptitude of ours. We want to love someone, some object, and we have to hold on to control it totally. I love means I control. But love means freedom. How that freedom can be achieved? By loving. That art is called detachment. Swami Vivekananda said, all misery and pain come from attachment. As soon as extreme attachment comes, A man loses himself. He is no more master of himself. He becomes a slave. Attachment comes only where we expect a return. These are all Swami Vivekananda. Everything that we do under compulsion goes to build up attachment. If you can get rid of your attachment to a single thing, you are on the way of liberation. Our misery comes not from work, but for our getting attached to something. Take for instance, money. Money is a great thing to have. Earn it, says Sri Krishna. Struggle hard to get money, but do not get attached to it. So with children, with wife, husband, relatives, fame, everything, you have no need to shun them. You have no need to shun them, only don't get attached. There is only one attachment, and that belongs to the Lord and to none other. I say, really a very serious issue. How to live in the life then. The attachment, how can we live, love, at the same time not get attached? And Swami Vivekananda in another place says that if you really want pure love, then it is all detachment. You love not with any expectation, but you give what you have to give and keep yourself open unto it. Attachment is normally that which does not allow us to accept what is God's will. Is it to be explained? What is God's will? We are not open to that. We want to hold on to our pet thoughts, pet ideas, pet inclinations. And if it happens, then God is gracious. If it does not, then it is not. That is our feeling. So, it is, who knows what is good, what is apparently bad, what is apparently good. That's why it does not talk about passivity. It does not say that, okay, I won't do anything, whatever happens. I'll take as God's will. That is a high state. A highly spiritual person can do that. Whatever happens, by God's will. Ramakrishna said, even the leaf does not move without the will of God. That's a very high state, not for us. But for us, we'll have to take every action. Take precautionary measure first. If that precautionary measure fails, take the immediate instant action. And even then afterwards, what will you do? You cry, weep, get frustrated, or you smile. You can smile by saying that it is God's will. Or even you don't say God, it is to happen, it has happened. There is our freedom. That is the power to let go. But we want to hold onto our own thoughts and ideas. Never accept what is coming, which is inevitable. So, that which does not allow us to accept what is God's will is the meaning, what I understood this way. Clingingness, our attachment means our clingingness. And clingingness to my pet ideas, pet thoughts, pet wishes, expectations. What I wish, what I want, what I would have. This, and holding on to that. Yes, there is no wrong in expecting that I want this. There is nothing wrong that I will have it. And there is nothing wrong in working hard for achieving that goal. But after all attempts, whatever happens, why can we not feel free and be in joy? Why we cry and weep? After all my efforts being done, Why I shall go to depression? It's a big question in our life. Normally we face this challenge every day of our life. We feel bad about ourselves. I am worthless. Oh, why I am suffering this? This is not mine. But question is that power, it is a power. This detachment is a power. Attachment is weakness. Holding on unendingly from the beginning to end of my life, that is a bondage, that is a slavery of my own identity of the mind. Clinging to the changing objects of the world. Look at that philosophically. Our attachment goes where? Anything you see in the world we love. What is that? Is it changing or it is unchanging? It's always changing. Whatever in the material world we see, every split second, everything is changing and changing and changing. Our love, our attachment goes to that thing which is changing, but we forget that there is one unchanging reality. The love or being attached to that is much more worthy than that of attaching myself to that which is changing. For our simple living, we need so many things. That's okay. But why we give up our attachment for that unchanging absolute, ever blissful truth and reality? Clinging to our emotional feelings, clinging to our intellectual ties, clinging to our egocentric thoughts, actions, deeds, actions. All these things are making me unhappy. Clingingness is very necessary. Otherwise we cannot do anything. I must have to be engaged in anything, means I should be very much into it. But that's the beauty. When you are working, think that you are really attached to that. But when the work is done, hands off. Why you carry your suffering there, holding on when it is your hands are out of hand? This is a very important point. This topic is very much to be applied everyday's life, because we are facing this challenge every day. Our emotional feelings. Okay, good. I am a human being. I should not be a piece of stone or rock or a piece of wood. I must have my emotions. But okay. But why to hang on to that emotion days and days and days if I find that it is not working? My intellectual understanding, my egocentric life, as we say, Swami Sarvadevananda Swami's language, egocentric life to God-centric life. So why should be on egocentric? My ego, how much it has given me? If it is directed positively, that has given me some good result. But when it is only me and mine, that has pulled me down from my all achievements. Clingingness is the aversion to the eternal, unchanging, ever blissful realities. Whenever I am clinging to the things or attached to the things, meaning I am averse to what is the opposite of it. So wishing or willing to have something over above what we have is not bad. But holding on and clinging to those bringing us pain, suffering, fears, anxieties, worries, loss, and loss of freedom. That is the question. That is the bad thing. Contrary to that, if the detachment which gives, if we say, okay, after all my efforts, I have sinned, but my hands are off. And then that will give you instant freedom, instant joy, instant peace, and instant tranquility. There is a story that a man was thinking, oh, I am bound, I am bound, I am bound. Who is there to release me from all bondage? And it is found that he is holding himself, just holding around the tree and holding like that and say, oh, please come, release me, release me, release me. You release yourself. You are free to do that. Why are you holding on and crying? Who is to free? It is we. We have the power. We have created our attachment. We can create our detachment. It is not a escapist mentality. It is to face the challenges of life, go through the life, and then try to be free. I give the example. Suppose this attachment issue is this. How? Suppose I go to doctor and doctor says that these are the problems of yours. Take care, take care, take care. Okay? So you take care. Before it hits you, oh, your sugar level is going high. Restrict. Otherwise we will have to put medicine. My doctor says so. Then this is called the preventive measure. For in our life, any problem may come, take preventive measure first. And reduce your whatever sugar intake or whatever. Do that. And then even with that, something happens. Suppose someone suddenly goes to having some chest pain. Go to doctor. You cannot do anything. Just run. Take action. Go to the hospital. And then, after that, whatever doctors do, give operation or not or whatever, after when you come back, you have still some aches and pains. What will you do? You go on crying? Or will say, okay, it is there. I've tried all my best. Detach. Let me live with it. Accept it. We are in denial. We don't want to accept. That is the point. We deny that is the fact of life. That is the way life goes on. Not your life, not my life. Everyone's life is centered around that. This is the way the body functions. It is the way the mind functions. It is the way the society functions. Our relationships. Many people come for different reasons. The relationship. See how we get attached to the relationship. I'm not saying about the good relationship that we always expect everywhere it should be. But in some relationship which is not working and still hanging on, battering is going on, and then police comes, no, it is nothing, it is in between us, and then police goes away. And then goes and battering and this and that, and a point comes when there is no other way, then what you do? People accept that. But why that much attachment? If it does not work, have a rational thinking. Tried your best. Detach. Life is not finished. Life has so much to do. Life is much bigger than little attachment to one particular object, person, thing, or anything. That should not destroy my whole piece of my life. So this is a strong, bold step. You will be very, can associate yourself with, say, children of your teenage boys and girls in your home. So you expect something. My son will be like that, my daughter will be like that, they will walk like that, they will talk like that, they will do that. And you can help them to build up their character, help them, love them, care them. But why are you controlling that? Why are you thinking it should be like that? And see, I have seen some fatal results with many of the parents, that that's why the boys and girls nowadays, I don't know whether every family, most of the families, when they just go to college, they will not stay nearby their mom and dad. If they live in Los Angeles, they will go to Boston. Boston people will come to Los Angeles. Even not further, Los Angeles boy or girl will go to San Diego at least, or Santa Barbara at least, that not to see every day. Why? because they think it's tiring. This mom and dad is bothering too much. Because they have their life, they have their tendency. But as a parent, we must have our responsibility. Yes, we give good values, we tell them sweetly, and make them responsible people. But no, I want this, and they should be like that. Why not? So, this is the problem. Problem is that our attachment. Who is attached? What is happening? It is destroying the relationship of the parents and the son and daughter. I know of some that they never even received a phone call. The children got so upset they don't even receive. Mom is crying and weeping. So, who's doing our too much attachment? That's why one point is to understand: love is freedom. Detachment is freedom. Freedom to yourself, freedom to your whoever in your life. The question is that not it is license again. Freedom does not mean license, but freedom means you are free. Why will you feel that slavery? You should not feel the slavery of anyone. So, but attachment brings this slavery. Attachment, Swami Vivekananda says in another place, attachment is the source of all our pleasures now. When I get attached, I like attached. I am attached to ice cream. And ice cream loves me. So, I get attached, and as a result, it is a pleasurable feeling. When I put in my tongue, it is so good. I want another scoop, another scoop, another scoop. No? Cholesterol goes up like that. No? So it is pleasure. Attachment is that which you don't understand. It brings pleasure at the point of now. But we are attached to our friends, to our relatives. We are attached to our intellectual and spiritual worth. We are attached to the external objects so that we get pleasure from them. What again brings misery, but this very attachment. So this is Swami Vivekananda saying. His words are so profound that what it appears to be pleasant and it turns into some suffering ultimately. Then the Katha Upanishad said that these two things are there, Shreya and Preya. What is Preya? It is instantly gratifying, but ultimately not bringing joy and freedom. And on the contrary, what is that which appears little rough and tough, but ultimately it brings peace and joy. So we have to detach, Swami Vivekananda says, we have to detach ourselves to earn joy. If only we had power to detach ourselves at will, there will be not any misery. There will be not any misery. No one can give me misery. Because if I can feel, okay, let it be. Let it be so. In the scripture it is said that ashahi paramam dukkham, nairasham paramam sukham. Asha, expectation. I am saying contradictory words. I am saying no, again saying expectation. Without expectation, how can we live? We are living here for expectation. We will have a good home, good money, good living, whatever our imagination. We should expect that. That is not bad. Expectation is not bad, but holding on to that expectation only starts all these problems. It does not happen. If it happens, good. If it does not, then when we are continuing to hold on to that, that is bringing the problem. That's why expectation, when you see it, don't expect. I have goal, I work for that, I exerted my whole energy to achieve that. At the same time, a preparation of the mind. Anything comes, I am ready to accept it. Good comes, bad comes, expected result comes, not come, I should not disturb my peace of mind. I will be in my own joy, which nobody has to control. So, this attachment is actually this very interesting thing which we sometimes not pay much attention, but our life rotates around this. Now how not to hold on to the events of life? It's the events of life. Life is going on. Look at that. We are facing every day, we are passing as if our car is moving, and we are facing some events every day. We do not know what is the next event. Now it is 11:30. After 4 o'clock, what will be the event? I do not know. I will be passing, I will be driving, I will be going home, or I will be meeting some friend. Some events. That is, we are going through those events. But we have our weaknesses. We attach during this to something which is past, maybe expecting in the future, and we get stuck there. So that events which has come in the past, which has happened in the past, which will be in the future. And what is present? Present is a term which is useless term. Is there any present? No present. Every split second, millionth of a second, you divide a second, then what is the present? Just you say something, think something, the moment is gone. So what is that? But we live either in the past or in the present or in the future. That's why Vedanta says, go beyond the time. No time. You reach a state where there is no time. Timeless, spaceless. And there is no impact of any causation there. There is no suffering, there is no pleasure. So it is events, we are not to hold on, the things will happen. Events will come in life, have come before, will come in future, and happening now also. But we have to learn how not to hold on to the events of life, which is past, present, or future. How to learn to be a witness of everything. It is a question, how we learn that we can be witness. Understanding what is the benefit of being witness and not being witness but to be attached. What is the positive and negative result of it? If we get it, if we get attached, what is the end result? And if we love with detachment, what is the end result? Just it is to be very seriously thought about. It is, Swami Vivekananda says, only the person who can detach, his love is infinite. He says that you do not know the infinite power in you of love, unconditional love will flow out of you if you learn how to detach. You see, Christ loved the world. It is not in a particular person, particular object. And see the impact of Christ. His love overflows everywhere. And he is free. He himself is free and he is giving freedom to all. Ramakrishna. Any person came to Ramakrishna. What they felt? Any person came to Holy Mother. What they felt? Their love is detached love. But their love so intense, so deep, at the same time, so witness-like, observer-like. So this is the secret of life, how we can live joyfully in our real self. How we learn to let go the objects, the things which comes in our life inevitably without our wishing or not wishing them. That is the art of living. We must have to learn this art of living. How if things will happen, we'll learn to let go. We hold on. All the time our suffering is holding on. That old event. You have said me one thing 10 years back. I remember the date and time. And carry on that today, tomorrow, after tomorrow, and every day we suffer. Because you said that. And I could not do anything then. If I can give a blow now, then I will be happy. So I am carrying that. And where is my freedom? I am a slave of that. That has made me slave and not giving me the joy of freedom now, what I can do now. So this is the problem of getting attached to anything of the past. And we are all hoping in the future. So there is a gentleman whose name was Balsekar. He was a Nisargadatta Swami's disciple probably. He used to say, I listened some tape, what it says, what is to happen, it happens. It looks like he's talking like a not responsible person. He's not saying what is happening, let it happen, and I don't do anything. A thief comes, steals here, or someone is putting fire, okay, let it go, God's will. No, it is not that. You do all your efforts to keep it in the way you like, the best you thought, and then what? Then why are you hanging on? He lost his son in the war when it is China or Pakistan, that war. And that time the son died. And he was upset. He took action, whatever money he had. See, he gave that money to government and to make a special cell so that these injured soldiers can get some benefit. So he donated some money. And when he is asked by that, he said, what has to happen? It has happened. I have nothing to do. What you can do? Really, if we look at our life, what we can do? What control we have about, have we control of our birth? Have we control over our youth? Well, in anything in our education, in the field of controlling the country, how the nation should go on, what control we have in any field of our life, personal or in the social, what control? We can think of so many things, and we should think as a social being. We are responsible people. We will have to think of the good of myself and good of the society. But what I think, would it happen? Let it happen. If it happens, happens. If it does not, then why bother? So here it is. They says, it has to happen, it has happened. I have nothing to do. I am an observer. Just an observer. Do your action, observe. So that's the detachment. What do? We do our action and get a glue comes. My mind gets glued there. But what this is telling, do your duty, detach. Do your duty, detach. All your responsibilities, all your actions, perform the best way, detach. And there is the freedom. There is no acceptance or no rejection. That is the question. It comes in life. I did my best. It has come, I accept it. Accept it means whatever way it has come, I take it. I can improve. I can try to get out of it if I can. But if that has to happen, as I give the example of the hospitalization, someone taking the preventive measure that I won't get into trouble, I'll do exercise, I'll take what you call turmeric powder, I'll take all ginger, I'll take this and that in morning, I'll take all the steps to prevent myself, okay? That's good, we did it. But still all those things, the other day, somebody came back and said, oh, I was all perfect. Even the medical test said that I am all, heart is clean, this, that, and then got stroke. Huh? What will you do? Rush to the hospital. Don't think, oh, I have done, I took preventive measure, why it is happening, and start crying and weeping. Move to the hospital, go to the doctor, and let them take care of it. And then afterwards, they have fixed it and this and that. You come back, you see complications are coming. Okay, take measure. But afterwards, the aches and pains which remains, what will you do? Accept it. That's why it's called titiksha in another language. Or here is the witness-like thing, or detachment. Yes, it is happen. It will happen. It is the body will suffer. Yeah, I'll have to go through it. Or sometimes doctor said, I cannot do anything. Doctor say, it is now it is yours. Huh? So, how can I be in that situation at the same time keep my own inner peace and dignity? Really, if we look at the events of our life, what is in our control? Have we control over our birth, death, disease, our relationship, our planning? We need to play the role in which we are and let things happen as it happens by, if we are devotees, we say by God's will. Everything is happening in God's will, and the devotee says, it's for my benefit. It is happening for my benefit. Everything happening for my benefit. You remember that story? There is a story that a prince and a son of the minister, they are good friends. So they went into hunting in the forest. And they lost their track, and then while passing through a dense forest, the prince, while he was on the horse back, is scratched and profuse bleeding started. And his friend said that, wow, whatever happens is good. God's grace. Whatever has happened, God's grace. And the friend got mad. I am bleeding now, and he is saying it is good. And he is not being hurt. That's why he is telling that when I am bleeding, it's okay. It is God's grace. No? So he got really mad. And then he was so mad. So while he was going on and found one well or some ditch, and he pushed him out from the horseback, and he fell into the friend, minister's son, so he fell into the ditch. And it was so deep. And he said, okay, this is also God's will, God's grace. he put the finger on him and said, it's God's will, okay. And then actually he was going on and so angry, but in the path he was caught by one tantric group of people. Tantric worship, sometimes they do human sacrifice for achieving some heavenly goals and things. That's their... so somebody caught him, that prince, and they are trying to find someone to be offered, and they, looking like a prince, who else will be better candidate than that, fulfilling their desire? So they caught him and took him, and then they make him take a bath and this clean and this everything, and he was put into the the slaughtering place. And the priest came, and he was before doing that, he observed all the limbs and things and found that so much scratch is there, and it just was bleeding, and still there is some little remnant of that. He said, hey, whom you brought here? This cannot be offered to the mother. It should be nice body without any scratch or without any bone. So, and then throw him out, so he was relieved. And then he remembered his friend. My God, my life was at stake. It was just a split second. Had I not been getting this scratch and this bleeding, I would have been slaughtered for my life. And then he came back, and he very sincerely came back to his friend and tried to find where is his friend, and ultimately found him and helped him to come out of the ditch. And then he said, you see, whatever happens, please forgive me, my friend. I was so brutal, I didn't understand the significance, and I put you into the such hellish situation in the deep well, which is dirty water and everything. So please excuse me. And the friend says, brother, whatever happens, by God's will, it is for good. Then he said, why are you saying so? Well, don't you see what would have happened? Had you not pushed me by your anger, you were not angry with me, and have you not pulled me here and thrown me into the well, both of us we are going, they will release you and cut me. Because I have no wound in my body, so I was a fit candidate. They will take me and they will just kill me. So, he said, see, everything, whatever happens by God's will. It is a great example of a totally devoted person. But I am saying, that yes, it is the point that this he is open to the suggestion. Whatever happened, even someone as his own friend, had we been in our condition, what we have reacted? How brutal is he? I told the right thing, everything happens by God's will, and he pushed me into this well. Eh? And I cannot climb up alone, it's a dirty water, not used by anybody. So I would have been full in the rage of anger and frustration and to make just give a good blow to that friend. But see this attitude, he could let go. Whatever has happened, let go. And then take the best meaning out of it. And he was very peaceful. Even in the well, when he's drowning, he was very happy. And when he came to rescue, he was very happy. And when after they went back, all the time, their happiness did not leave him. So this is another example what we can know. So it is to understand, it is not the passivity, but intense activity in the midst of all calmness with the fleeting objects. So it is in the Bhagavad Gita, it is said, 4th chapter, that karmani akarma japasyet, akarmani cha karma cha, sabuddhiman manusheshu sajukta krishna karmakrit. Who is the perfect doer of all spiritual practices? That person who karmani akarma japasyet, in karma intense activity, he feels calmness and serenity, unchanging peace. And in tremendous action, he feels peace. And in that actionless Brahman sees the whole universe functioning. Everything is functioning. It is all God. God is playing. It's called the God's play going on. So if one can see that, then that person is perfectly in pure peace. The world is not the cause of our miseries, pain, suffering and bondage. Real cause is our attachment to the objects of the visible world or the invisible or invisible world, either here or in the heaven. This expectation, this is the cause of our suffering. It is world, actually, this is a very great statement, I read it, that world is God's creation. It is most perfect. There is nothing wrong in that. We are creating our bondage. We are creating our attached outlook or detached outlook. It is really to be found out that world is in perfect order because it is all God. There is a song, that song says, Khelicho, e bisholo eke akargan. There is a mystic poet, Nazrul, used to sing, Khelicho, e bisholo e birato shishu anmone khelicho. Oh Lord, you are like a child. And you are playing. This whole universe is your play. Bhangicho goricho. You are breaking to pieces and reconstructing in your own whims. There is no meaning. Don't try to find any meaning and purpose in it. It is just play of a child. And then we may say, put the question, yes, it is his fun. But for us, it's the pain. But Ramakrishna responded to that, no? That somebody says that it's God's play. And one devotee said, it is God's play, but it is our suffering. He said, who are you? If it is God's play, and God is everywhere, God is creating out of it, why are you coming in the picture? That means my attachment, my likingness, my disliking. If we can flow in the will of God, there is no problem of anything. To flow in the will of God. I do not know what is will of God. You may say, yes, we will say, we do not know what is will of God. Yes, will of God is that where we are detached. Let things flow in its own way, and you let go along with it. That is the God's will. Because when I am bringing my awareness, I want this. So you are really obstructing the flow, that flow which is the spontaneous flow of God's Leela or divine sport. Then if you go to the ocean is creating so many, maybe, I'm just not putting scientifically, but I'm saying, look at the ocean. The ocean is bringing thousands and millions of waves and breaking and dissolving and crashing and fighting. What's that to? If any of the waves says, hey, it is I am getting smashed, the ocean will say, who are you, my child? It's me. I am in this form, I am in that form. So why are you coming into the picture? Well, I have my body-mind. Yeah, there is the problem. You have your body-mind, but that body-mind is not tuned to ocean, but tuned to your own individuality. And your expectation and your pleasure and pain, there you are suffering. In the Patanjali, in the Panchadoshi, this philosophy has been said, this whole world is created by Ishvara Srishta Dvaita. The duality, this is duality. Multiplicity has been created by what? By Ishvara, the Lord. The Lord, one absolute Brahman, created this diverse universe. No. It says that Eko aham bahushyama prajayeti. I am alone. I will be many. And that's why multiplicity, the diversity has come out. It is all God. Ramakrishna said, it is God. Whatever he sees, even the trees, plants, everywhere, he sees the mother. Brahma Jnani see, it is all Brahman. Huh? Ramakrishna said one day, Latu was sitting like that, holding his head on the hand. Ramakrishna said, I see, it is the mother sitting that way. Huh? A cat coming, Ramakrishna said, it is mother. So, that there is nothing but that reality. What I am bringing, my duality, it is called Jiva Srishta Dvaita, the duality created by individual soul like me. My likes, my dislikes. God has created, say, all types of fruits and flowers. No? Don't you say, I like these roses. I dislike that. Don't you say that every day? It is God's creation. Why are you liking this over that? Because you have your ego coming into picture and you are liking that, you are disliking that. But in God's creation, he is a great painter, great artist. He has created out of his fun. All creation comes out of joy, isn't it? Anandati eva khulu imani bhutani jayante. From Ananda, the bliss, this whole creation, it has come. Anandena jatani jivanti. Everyone is living in that Ananda, that bliss. And everyone merges into that Ananda. But I don't see Ananda. Where is bliss for us? Our tension, our anxieties, our worry is killing us day and night. See, here is the point. What is the cause? God is the cause? Or any person is the cause? We point out, we are very selfish. We always want to save myself and point all faults for you or the society or the friend or the political leader or the financial crash or anything. I will be very happy if I can put my finger on anyone. But never here. I am attached. Why am I attached? And why am I holding on to that? And holding on to that, you are killing yourself. But you can love. You do not know this glory of love. Love with detachment. Ramakrishna loved Swami Vivekananda. What Vivekananda, when he came, even Vivekananda being aware, he said that you love me too much, you will be like the King Bharata. King Bharata had a deer and he was thinking of deer, and when he died, it is said that he has been born as deer. So, Vivekananda is wording Ramakrishna. You love me too much. Huh? Even Naren enters, Ramakrishna said, oh, if you go. And he will talk with Naren. But his love is not attached. His love is detached. His love is like you perfect mirror, the reflection of the light becomes very shining. His mind is like extraordinary pure. And there he said, what? You know, if I do not see God in you, that day I will not be able to just cast my glance upon you. What the question of entertaining you? So he sees God, and that is detached. And if I see God in anyone, how much respect, how much honor, how much love, outpouring of our heart, that will come. So, and detachment will bring that freedom. So, that is the point. And Swami Vivekananda also wrote a letter to Joe MacLeod. Do not try to find the meaning of this life, of this world. It is all fun, Joe. I was born, that was fun. I did something good, that was fun. And I die, I am fun. I am not keeping anyone in bondage. And I don't want that anyone will be attached to me and be in bondage. This is the point. Don't put anyone into bondage. Neither you become, no one feels bondage for you. That is the detached love. And that is the glory of human excellence. And we are to learn this condition, that this God has created, it is His world, and we are to play through it, we are to work through it with all sincerity and do our duties, do our dharma. Husband's dharma, husband should have to do, wife's dharma, wife is to do, friend's dharma, friend will have to do. Go through it, but give freedom to others, and you feel free also. Don't put anyone in bondage. You don't like bondage. If someone all the time puts you into bondage, will you like it? So how do you do that for the other person, what you don't like for yourself? So that is, all this boils down to one thing: try to learn to detach. Live in the world, and when you work, it will appear that you are very much attached. Look at our great Swamis of our order. You will be surprised. When they work, you see that they are very much attached. It's day and night thinking of that as a duty. But as soon as the work is done, hands off. You see many of our Swamis I have seen, a big decision, serious thing going on. And as soon as they come out, they are singing some songs and to themselves and totally detached. That's as a duty to do, detach. There is a great story. And quickly, 2 minutes I will say, that in the starting point of our women's mott, women's monastery, which is now Sarada Mutt in India. It was only Ramakrishna monastery, but Swami Vivekananda wanted that there will be a center of the women, and they will be in charge of their own activities. Men will have nothing to do with it, because men always dictate. The Buddhist monk, Christian, Catholic monks, everywhere, men will be in the top, whatever may be the norms. But he said, no, it should be, they will deal with their own business, you will only give them the opportunity. And that discussion was going on in our trustee board for a long time with great Swamis. And some of the Swamis were very opponent to that, because they are thinking that, yes, you will say that, yes, we will do that, and then bring in the under your fold and then control them or keep in the same organization. It should not be. So anyhow, so those who opposed, ultimately one day a president of the order came and said, yes, this is to be decided today, and it is women's mott will be happening now. And then that resolution was passed. Surprisingly, those who were opponent, they became the executor of this entire planning. And today's Sarada Mutt is because of that. See the learning of this point. Yes, you think as your duty to say, yes, I dislike, I have contrary opinion for that, I like, dislike is my point. But ultimately when it is decided, the thing goes in that direction, they totally hands off, and they become the instrument to make that project successful. So this is the learning point, attachment and detachment. And this attachment, we are to direct it to God. the unchanging, the absolute. Instead of putting our attachment to the changing, momentary, changing phases of the existence, to put it the same attachment to that which is unchanging. And then you can love everything, because unchanging, if you love the unchanging ocean, then you can love all the waves. But if you are stuck to one wave, then you miss the whole game of all the waves, as also the ocean itself. So this is the detachment to particular, detachment to one person, one object, one thing, that is dangerous. Sri Ramakrishna said, what is Maya, what is Daya? Maya is that love for my son, my daughter, my husband, my wife, my family. And Daya, love for all, because God is everywhere. So it is a detached love. That does not mean that you would not love your wife, your husband, but you can love more deeply if you have this spiritual attitude that whom you are loving, what is the object of your love. And we are loving God and God alone, changing to unchanging, love for the unchanging reality. And Swami Vivekananda ultimately says, we in our day-to-day life should be equally ready to attach to something and detach. This moment you have to keep your power in your hand to attach to something and detach next moment. Whenever you like, you can withdraw. That's the mental power. That's the mental strength. That is called spirituality. All our practices we do, meditation, prayer, etc., good. That helps us. But to understand, we should have to have this strength and power to attach to anything you like and detach the next moment. That never to be holding on or clinging on to that. So Swami Vivekananda says, that man will be able to get who having the power of attaching himself to a thing with all his energy, has also the power to detach himself when he should do so. The difficulty is that there must be as much power in attachment as to the detachment. There is a power, no? It needs power to get attached to things. But Swami Vivekananda says we should acquire tremendous power to get attached. At the same time, tremendous power to detach. There are men who are never attracted by anything. They can never love. They are hard-hearted and apathetic. They escape most of the miseries of life. But the world never feels misery. The world never loves. Is never hurt. But it is the world after all. That means we need not be like a wall. We have no heartless, we don't love anyone, we don't feel any attraction for anyone. No, we love in its inmost depth. But at the same time, detach. Detach, feel the power within you to attach and feel the power to detach. So this is the message of attachment and detachment. The whole of Bhagavad Gita talks about that. Look at the life of Sri Krishna. That is the life of extreme example of this attachment and detachment. He loved the gopis, all the play and fun. But just see, when he left Vrindavan at the age of 12, never went back to see the detached. That is the detachment. Not that his love was limited to anyone. So attachment and detachment should be practiced together. Thank you. Om madhuvatarithayate madhuksharanti shindava madhirna shantoshadihi madhunaktam mutaushasi madhumatparthi bagum rajaha madhudaurastu napita madhumanno manaspatihi madhumagum astu suryaha madhvirgavo bhavantu naha. Om Madhu, Om Madhu, Om Madhu. May the winds bring us happiness. May the rivers carry happiness to us. May the plants give us happiness and joy. May night and day yield us happiness. May the dust of the earth bring us peace. The heavens give us sweetness. May the trees bring sweetness to us. May the sun pour down happiness happiness upon us. May the animals give us happiness and joy. Om sweetness, Om honey, Om love.